kitchen.
20-second commercials.
I hope you're hearing that, Radio Free Brooklyn. You're getting some
Matt
praise.
Frazier.
Some clean 20-second commercials.
Clean,
Frazier.
very clean, very nice.
Matt Frazier.
Thank you, Matt Frazier of Radio Free Brooklyn, for your clean, nice, clean
20
cut.
seconds, one take, Matt Frazier.
One take, Matt. One take, Frazier. That's
Down goes
what it is.
Frazier. In 20 seconds.
Oh my Lord! Down goes Frazier. I can't believe it.
The victor.
I cannot believe it. Frazier is knocked down by the contender Muhammad Ali. My God! What a fight! What a blow! What a battle!
I told you, Howard Cosell. I came in to the ring and I was ready to demolish him. I was ready to take him down.
Ali,
What
now
do I
you're
say?
now
okay.
you're a braggart. You got a lot of talking you're doing, and okay, you've done a little
I'll tell
showing
you
and
one
proving
mouth
tonight.
I'll shut up is that mouth on the canvas, Howard Cosell.
All right, you're very
He's calling
sweaty.
you out, Howard.
He's very sweaty.
coming
He's
after
very
you. No,
excited.
Howard, you going to let him call
Howard
you out
Cosell,
unanswered right here, live across?
I'm going to lose 100 pounds, Howard Cosell, so I can fight you in the strawweight division.
I am
Head
but
to
a
head.
I am but a commentator sitting here at the table. You're very sweaty. You just won a championship. You're very high up on yourself, Mr.
I am the greatest.
Mr. Muhammad Ali.
Howard, this is your best chance. He's
Cassius
mildly
Clay.
spent. He's just boxed.
I will
You
not.
see, he doesn't want it.
I
he
will
doesn't
not
want to come after
accept
me.
Seems like he's afraid,
a
Mom.
challenge.
I can take on his whole set.
I'm a
Everybody
professional.
at NBC Sports.
I will-
I'm willing.
Howard,
I'm
I'm
ready.
hemorrhaging respect for you at this time.
Paul, I wouldn't want to hurt the young champ. He's got his
No.
whole career ahead of him.
Wow.
He said he wouldn't want to hurt me. Actually, by now, I've only picked up that book called the Quran. I still go by Clay, by Cassius Clay.
I respect your beliefs, I respect your wishes, and I respect your right not to be viciously injured.
But who
by
respects
a
you, Howard?
superior
You're insulting the man, but refusing to box.
I will not box this young.
I've just gotten word from Jack Parr. We can start the Tonight Show 20 minutes late. I think that's all it'll take. Let's get
let's
going.
Get this first round, Mr. Cosell. Take
And
the jacket off.
bing!
Oh,
boxing-
I'm suddenly in the ring.
Two
Oh.
shots to Cosell's
I'm
face.
dancing.
Oh, watch
I'm dancing.
yourself now,
I'm dancing.
Ali.
Check it.
Okay.
I'm put one hand behind my head.
All
one
right,
hand
there's
behind
a
my
shot to the liver for you.
Oh.
There you go.
right.
Enjoy that one.
Okay, so
have that one with some gravy.
You got to make them think that they got a headache.
Oh, yeah. Bow, 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 bow. Jab, tussle,
Okay,
whip around.
okay,
Yeah,
coach.
Cosell means it.
Okay,
The contender is,
I'm
do
out.
you concede? Do you concede?
I give up. Cosell, you
I'm the new champion of the
You
world.
are the
Howard
greatest.
Cosell.
Down goes Clay.
Howard Cosell is the
Down
world
goes
heavyweight
Frazier,
champion.
followed by Clay. Up rises Cosell. Cassius, would you care to join me in the broadcast table?
Yeah, sure, I will.
We've got an opening now. He's going to be busy defending that
great.
belt.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the start of a brand new future where the champion is a white sports commentator named Howard Cosell. And as I adjust my hairpiece, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got now, ladies and gentlemen. He's got the size and the intellect of a Rocky Marciano.
Now, why don't you get up in here in this ring?
Uh-oh. He's calling you out,
Clay.
Cassius.
I think that point was to you.
Oh, no. I was hoping you hadn't noticed.
Yeah, that's
I've
you.
already had 2 fights.
Damn it,
Oh.
Cosell.
You gentlemen, I love our brunches. Scene.
Starting hot.
I'm always in the market to add to get a new. You could end any scene in a pinch with this phrase. And guys, I love our brunches.
Yeah.
Is a good one.
Had a good brunch.
This mic is on. Maybe I'm not here.
Oh yeah, you can. Oh, let me see.
Check.
Hold on.
I've got you.
You
In
got
my
me?
ears. You got us in your ears?
I have you in my ears.
Oh wait, now I've lost you.
I have you in my ears.
I've got a little bit of you.
Okay. A lot of you.
How about
I
now?
don't got a lot of me. I don't got a lot of me. I don't got a lot of me.
Now
There,
you're in.
Now I'm in.
Now you're in. Yeah.
What, do I
Yeah?
just waste a Muhammad Ali bit?
No, I could hear it.
You could hear it?
At
I
the-
could
yeah.
hear it. Hopefully it's.
I am the greatest.
Yeah, mine a little bit funky too today. So we'll see how it goes. But I think it's going.
Hey man, you got the fan off before we started. You're ahead
I
of the
got
curve.
it.
Haha.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to No Suggestion. I'm Ralph Jean Pierre. No Suggestion, the improv comedy talk show. We got guest co-host Geoff Grimwood,
Hello.
Grimsy in the house.
Are
Hello,
you sure
everyone.
it's Jean Pierre? Let me, as someone who took French for 3 years in middle school, are you sure it's Jean Pierre?
This has come up many times,
Many times
in my
Everyone's
life.
surprised, myself included.
I heard John Peter Ralph John Peter. I thought if you're gonna do the Jean Pierre, you might as well. If you're gonna Gene it, you might as well Americanize the
it's not a
Pierre.
choice. I didn't go like, oh, I'm gonna go with Jean Pierre. It was decided when I was born.
You lost your birth certificate, bro.
I did lose my. We talked about this before. I did lose my birth certificate.
You had a redo, bro. You did it once.
I could have done anything. I could have done.
Your birth certificate isn't written out phonetically. You got.
I dictated it.
Like in the dictionary when they put the funny.
I don't care how people say it. As long as you're trying your best, I don't care. Jean
In Philadelphia,
Pierre,
he's
Jean
Ralph
Pierre.
John Pierre.
John Pierre, John.
No, like John. That's a thing I only recently learned of.
Oh,
Apparently.
John, Jawn.
Right? It doesn't really make
John.
sense in the context of your name. But I just like to.
Yeah.
I like to say John.
Because he's a pimp, so he's a John.
John, no. I mean, it's true. It's
we're
true.
getting toxic now.
And our guest today is Dejen Tesfagiorgis.
Tesfagiorgis.
Damn it!
So you changed my name. You changed my name, but you can't change your name. All right, folks, we're going to open up the call lines now. If you have a phone belonging to 608-2... I'm not done. I lost my phone on Tuesday, so I'm freaking out.
How emotionally have you been taking that?
The first 2 hours were the worst. And then beyond that, people on the strangers on the subway were nice enough to let me call my phone from their phone.
Wow.
And the first 4 calls at least rang twice, and then they hung up to go to voicemail. Then I went to my buddy's house off the Utica stop. And he was like, all right, do this, do that. You got to use the Find My Phone app on Samsung. You got to go create a Samsung account, all this other stuff. And then I was actually, oddly enough, by the time I got back to Washington Heights, where I'm at, I was relaxed. I was like, oh, shit, it's kind of nice not to be waiting for someone's text to ask me to do something.
Wow.
So the past 2 days, I've been on my sister's old iPhone that she gave me. Got a nice, hot iPhone 7.
Hot. Wow.
Nice, hot iPhone 7. That I can use over Wi-Fi. That's how we've been texting over Instagram.
I've been there, man. I've been there just using Wi-Fi. Usually for me, it's when I haven't paid the bill.
Haven't paid the bill.
Yeah, but using that Wi-Fi life,
I hope the guy that took my phone pays the bill because I hope he keeps up.
Get some good use out of it or something.
Yeah, get some mileage.
It's a good phone.
No, it's the Samsung S10e. This is like a 5-year-old phone. I don't know why they would keep it. Probably threw it away for me. It's not a great phone, but for me, it was like, this works. This is nice.
And you were keeping this phone because is it because you're a creature of habit?
Well, the Samsung is mine, and then the old iPhone is my sister's.
Yeah, but the Samsung was old, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why were you holding on to it? A creature of habit, or you just like, I don't feel like getting a new phone?
Oh, yeah, I don't feel like upgrading. Once I know and customize the thing that I like, it usually takes me like a month to, I got to set my color temperature to warm. I set my, get the apps I like, all this stuff. I don't like changing it. I even leave it in the other room during work hours or writing hours. So I have to be more conscious of going to it instead of just sitting on the phone but habitually every 15 minutes, let me see what whoever's up to on Instagram. Let me just let Instagram create whatever interests that are vague. I was vaguely into last year.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. So. And nothing will suck me back into something I'd gotten over than Instagram. Than the ads on Instagram where it's like I stopped looking at audio gear, blah, 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 and I finally no, I have one of everything that I fucking need. I don't need any more. And then I'm fine with it. And then I open Instagram for the first time in 3 months. And the third thing is, Amazon or Sweetwater or something. And it's like, oh, that's interesting. No, you know.
I sold the base. So Tuesday morning, sold the base that my old roommate had, and then I was getting I posted on Craigslist last Friday. This is a Craigslist post, and I did 2 Google searches for what a Fender 5-string jazz bass costs, and then suddenly I'm getting these 5-string jazz bass ads. I was like, no, you weren't looking. That was the output. That's not the input.
Wow. Yeah,
that was the output. And now they're giving me, give me ads for sperm donors can make $1,500 a month. That's what I'm getting a lot of right now. I'm getting close.
That seems like news you could use.
Yeah, I'm getting close.
Maybe they're like, oh, this guy with the 5-string jazz bass, he's got a lot of extra sperm. This guy's virile.
This guy is virile. He's fertile.
How
listed at 6'4".
So I'm
This brother's in
interested.
demand.
I want to dig in. Oh, so let me say the format of the show. It's basically a living room. I thought the format of this show was novel, and then I realized it's just a living room. It's not novel. So basically, we'll just talk about whatever we want to talk about, anything we want to talk about, and at any point during the show, any of the three of us can initiate an improv scene. You just start an improv scene whenever you feel like it. Maybe it's based on what we're talking about, in some loose sense. Or directly, whatever. And then at any point, the scene could be 30 seconds or 3 minutes long, however long it goes. And at any point, any of us can call a scene when we feel it's appropriate. And that's it. And then we'll just jump in and out of improv scenes. If we get 4 improv scenes in this hour, it shows exactly an hour. If we get 4 improv scenes in this hour, that'll be fantastic. If we do more than 4, stupendous. I'll be ecstatic. If we do less than 4, I will feel like you did when you lost your phone.
We'll do 4. We'll do 4.
4 will happen.
We got 1 down.
We got one already happened.
In the can.
Yeah.
Dunzo.
Thanks.
Can I turn my headphones down a little bit?
Yes. Yeah. Let's. Yes.
Just my receiving end.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Yours are right.
Mine's here.
How's that?
Oh yeah, that's good.
Okay, good.
Thanks.
Let me know if you want them to go up at all. Same for you, Grimsy. I got you. I want to know, how are you in general with change, Dejen?
With change?
Small questions to start.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like establishing consistency, so it has to. I hate surprises. That's it. My birthday was August 1st. My wife wanted to throw me a surprise party, and I said no. I'm sorry, baby. You can't. You can not.
When she even told you about, and that's even that.
Well, she said she made plans. She was like, I made plans.
I'm gonna surprise you.
I made plans. It's gonna be a surprise. And I said, well, tell me what you did, because it's not the time for surprises. We are also moving out of our apartment, getting ready to drive across the country to Wisconsin and Minnesota, where each of us is from. And we have a bid on a new co-op in East Flatbush, and there's a lot of stuff happening on August 1st. And then I was like, just tell me what you have planned.
That's your birthday.
That's my birthday.
Does that make you like is that like dead in the heart of Leo season?
Heart of Leo.
Yeah, you.
It's 2 weeks in.
I gotta say, Dejen, I think the world of you. I think you're incredible.
Don't
you
butter
are
me up.
Don't
butter me up to take a bite.
I'm not gonna take a bite.
Take a bite.
This will go however you want it. I don't think I've ever met somebody who's more Leo than you. You
more
are
Leo?
the purest Leo I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You're such pure Leo energy. Like I didn't know your birthday, and I've always thought like that guy is a Leo.
What's Leo's confidence? That's one of the parts?
I think what I would say a Leo is like they are actually it's actually a quality that I think is beautiful. Is Leos are linear, and Leos are what they present. Like Leos, this is what I feel like, Deja, when you walk into a room, what people see is what it is. You're like, this is it. This is it. Wow. I am not to say you don't have depth, and I know you're a very smart man.
I'm shallow.
But I think you just show up and you're like, this is when you show up, that's it. That's what it is. And it very in the moment and very like, what are we doing? I also feel like you're like a golden retriever. Like energy and enthusiasm, not like a lazy, fluffy one, but like a yes. What's happening?
Yeah, I had a
brightness.
Every time I hear golden retriever, I had a girlfriend in this was like in 2009 or 2008, 2009. She would say this phrase so often. She's like, "Well, I'm loyal as a golden retriever," and in the back of my head, I was like, "Don't compare yourself to a dog. This is a weird." I never told her that, but every time in the back of my head, it was like one of those things where she's like, well, I'm loyal. I was like, yo, you're going to your friend's, whatever, bachelorette party in the middle of your work week, whatever. She's like, oh, I'm loyal as a golden retriever. I was like, don't call yourself a bitch.
Yeah. Don't do that.
So, if I can have everybody's attention, the man of the hour, Samuel's retiring.
Okay.
And he said, no matter what, just don't do a big thing where everybody makes a toast and pays compliments. Guess what, Samuel? That's what you get.
We got it.
That's what you get, Samuel. All right. So I'm going to start because I'm the second most senior. Now I'll be the most senior guy in the shop.
Right, everyone gets a shot at the boss. I understand.
Any tools Samuel leaves behind, I get to take them.
He
right.
he already got dibs on him.
Samuel is as innovative as a maggot.
Say it, Rick. Say
It's
it.
like he's like a maggot, right? Like you put him in any situation,
He's gonna survive.
and he's gonna find a way to make it into a growth personality.
So you're saying
dung, decaying flesh. He's gonna make it
hold on,
through.
Tim. You were saying magnet because I'm like attracted to the energy of the company.
You're not. I mean, yeah, you're like a magnet for trouble. Oh,
Yeah, I think you're saying maggot.
no, like a maggot, like a larval fly.
Okay.
Maggot brain.
Well, I would appreciate if you
Funkadelic.
didn't say those things around my kids and my grandkids
Oh.
are here, and my wife also came out because I mean apparently you all invited them. They gave me the pre-surprise.
It's a
showing up
surprise!
for work.
You like a surprise?
Yeah. Okay. Well,
This guy is
I would like-
proud
I
as
would
a
like to
crow.
Samuel is
Proud
like
as a dark crow.
Samuel's like a pervert on the train. He's gonna give you a surprise, but he'd love it if you gave him one, huh?
Yeah.
It's a good quality, like a
Not
pervert
great
on a
quality.
train.
Hey, all right, okay, a little roast. Well,
Anyway.
here's to a cheers to my top 2 sellers,
Thank you.
and may the numbers I brought bring you also good joy. You two are just the we're in the doghouse together.
This guy, man, he's like a
We say
he's
we're
like
like-
a skunk because he's just gonna shower you
hang on,
with
Mike.
praise.
He's retiring. We don't got to put up with this kind of stuff anymore. You saying we're like dogs?
Yeah.
You saying we're like dogs?
Well,
in here,
yeah, like
Samuel?
the three, how when we close a sale, we all go. So it's just the 3 of us. We're in the doghouse, working it out. We're in
I
the
understood that
ditches, in the
tradition to be
trenches.
like we were a football team, like we were the offensive line of a football team, and
Yeah,
we were
like
just
the
shout-
Eagles or the
whoa.
Falcons.
But now you're telling me you thought we were like dogs this whole time.
No, well, like a pack. Well,
I think
like
I
we roll
smell my own
together.
butt.
No. You guys are just taking.
And
it
I'm
a
sorry. You
little-
know what? This is your night. This is your party. I shouldn't be taking
Okay.
umbrage at anything. I apologize.
Standing over here by the
Save
punch,
your life.
smelling my own butt. By
Well,
the punch.
let's
Smelling my own
let's just
butt.
how about we just get
I mean,
to
at
the
the end of the day,
DJ.
Samuel is kind of like a drug overdose, okay? Like, he pushes you to your limit, and maybe you end up, crapping your pants and puking in your nightstand, but you're stronger for having interacted with him. You're like a drug overdose.
Samuel's like my mom, and then he makes me feel bad about myself.
Okay. Well, I'm also like your stepdad in that I give you the tough love that you need. And how about this? How about you're the bloody tampon of the company? How about that, Tim?
I like the sound of it. Are you saying I'm the proof that the necessary work of creation is always ongoing?
And that as a team, when we're in sync, everybody leads together.
But don't leave me in the sink too long because I make a mess.
Sam, you're also like my stepfather in that you raised me.
See, now that's an analogy that we can all.
Classic Samuel. It's his night. It's compliment Samuel night, and he's giving us compliments. Calls me a bloody tampon.
The
Does
best.
somebody make a plaque for when I take over Samuel's office, which he doesn't realize I'm doing, but he's vacating it, so I'm going to take it and put a big plaque on the wall that says, "It's me. Welcome to the bloody tampon zone." Huh? Your kids, you should be like your dad.
This guy's like a maggot.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have a customer. Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?
Scene. Perfect.
I'm the second most senior guy at this McDonald's.
You did it. You got to
11:20. 2 fucking scenes in.
Woo!
How's the swears and what are we
this is-
rated?
oh,
Internet radio, baby.
Okay, perfect. You're listening to Radio Free Brooklyn, independent listener-supported radio. Your support keeps us going. Radio Free Brooklyn's mission is to provide free and open platform in our community and promote media literacy, education, free expression, and public art. Hey, you read some, Dejen. Start from the we.
Well,
We.
we?
Yeah, we. Right here.
Oh, okay. We rely primarily on donations from listeners like you. Every
Yes.
dollar helps us to stay on the air and allows us to continue our work in the community. We
Oh.
are a 501c3
Yes, Lord.
nonprofit organization, so all contributions are tax deductible.
Praise him.
Please support with a monthly pledge
Yes,
or a
Father.
one-time donation at radiofreebrooklyn.org/donate.
Y'all don't hear
This
me.
has been a message from Dejen, that's Dejen as in Nancy, and Chris Rock coming through a Radio Free Brooklyn.
You want a rib?
Just one rib. How much? How much for one rib?
Fantastic. We did it.
That was way ahead of the curve as well. Maybe you're doing more. Are you doing that earlier these days lately?
If somebody brings it up, if somebody's like,
That's
hey,
great.
basically I'll only say this is listener supported radio. There's no standards here. You talk about what
If the
you
listeners
want.
like it, they get what they want.
Also, it's 11 p.m. show. I'm a certified producer at BRIC
Mm.
Public
Ooh.
Media, and so for their adult shows, they just put you after I think 10:30 or 11.
Deja, you're an
Do all that.
industrious. Aren't you also an engineer, a scientist, or something?
No, I used to work in tech sales.
Tech sales.
Tech
Okay.
sales, yeah.
You're a jazz musician.
Uh-huh.
You're a producer at BRIC. You make film and video. You're a comedian. You're a sketch writer. You're an actor. You were in sales. Is there some? I feel like
You can
there's something-
freestyle rap.
You can rap.
Oh, I do
You-
kickbox,
you
Muay Thai kickboxing.
Kickboxer. Oh my gosh, you're
I
a
gotta
man of
stop all this
seasons.
shit though, man, because I'm like, it's like electives. My whole life is just fucking. I'm like taking a bunch of electives and not having a major.
It's very rare that I'm in the show and I know what the title of the episode is going to be.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it's only happened one time, but you've already given it to me.
That's the title.
Yeah, your
My whole
life is
my
just
whole life is
electives.
just electives.
That's great, dude. I mean, yeah.
Taking like gamelan drumming, Eastern gamelan for 1 credit.
Wow.
Eastern gamelan drumming for 1 credit.
What
I
was
mean,
your
Nuts.
degree in college?
Saxophone performance and entrepreneurship. So I was a business major and a music major. And the show that I'm working on, like what I did with BRIC, is a podcast intensive, and it's a show called Dormitory Glory Stories. And it's like a podcast one-on-one with a person I interview about college stories they maybe forgotten or they think back and laugh on.
Yeah.
And then a character guest comes on, ideally from the world. So we had Julia Schroeder and Lauren Gamiel. Lauren was an upright bass major at her college, University of Miami. And then the character guest was the maid of honor practicing her wedding speech. And then it's a fun show. If you look up Dormitory Glory on YouTube,
Sounds nice.
you'll find it. And you'll be right in
Love the
pocket.
plugs. How long have you been doing that podcast?
I just launched it like June 1st, and I have 2 more episodes to post.
Okay,
probably
beautiful.
this
Oh, this is like a mini series.
I'm trying to do like by season. So if I can get like 10 episodes out by the end of the year, I'll be in good shape. I'll be really happy.
And you film it over in their facilities over there?
Mm-hmm. I had I can record 2 at a time. So I just book a 3-hour block, and for 1 episode, you would be the guest. You would be like the human I interview, and you're the character that comes on. And then, great, after an hour and a half, feed people lunch, whatever, and then we just switch.
That's
So
awesome.
I'll talk to you about some of your stories, and then you would be the character guest as whatever, the janitor or like the.
I'm curious about all the nitty gritty of it. Like, do they give you a crew and everything, or you bring your own crew?
No,
or?
you bring your own crew.
Okay. Do you have to use their gear?
Yeah, you have to use our gear.
Because that's like a legit like TV studio
Yeah, it's
setup.
pretty much set up like this. The podcast studio is it's a GoPro over here, and then I could use their cameras to set up, but just like y'all have a cell phone set up, I could just set up a phone here on y'all and then another one here. It's just the editing. I fucking hate editing. I hate the editing. The edit of everything. And, with true Leo energy, I want the first version to be to be done.
You do
But
like a multicam editing cut between them kind of deal?
if I ask a friend that was also that's also a producer there, then they could run the room or run the booth. So ideally, if you have a crew of 3 people, like myself and 2 people could do it, but then one has to be switcher and sound, and then the other one's just like checking levels or something. But
Hey, this is
the whole thing.
This is mostly only interesting to the 2 people talking alarm is going off, which I've had to have tuned for myself for years and years. But we can talk about that. That's very interesting to me.
Yeah, sure, we'll go.
I did a couple. I've done a couple of improv workshops there over the years. Just a couple times. It's been a minute, but like the facilities and the whole vibe there were always really cool.
Yeah, and for the crazy thing about like Manhattan Neighborhood Network, Brooklyn Public Media, even maybe you all get it too, is that companies like Verizon or AT&T or anyone that uses the airspace of New York, there's a law, I think every state has a law that in order to use the airspace, just the waves running around us, they have to fund a non-commercial channel. So that's what Manhattan Neighborhood Network is. It's the non-commercial channel for all these companies have to pay into.
That's amazing.
Like I know back in Chicago there was a public access channel my understanding, my vibe was always like New York had a much more robust and like used ecosystem of it. Like people would actually go ahead and do it, and they would do it. There would always like legendary, famous like shows that everybody knew, like the crazy shows on the whatever on the
like the Tom Green show. That was a Canadian public access show.
No kidding.
Before a lot of his bits, especially with the faces blanked out in the first season, those were filmed in Toronto. And he just had this public access show, and he was just this nuts guy. And MTV found him and was like, "Let's invest in this. Let's see what's up with this dude."
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, public access it's also the people that it's like half of them are church shows, some of them are people talking about sports, and I'm like, it's like study hall. It's like the equivalent of adult study hall.
Yeah,
it's great.
Do people watch?
That's the question we don't ask. We don't need or want the answer to.
Yeah. I don't know people.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's ever listened to this show. I know people listen to the podcast after the fact, but I don't know if anybody's listening to the show live.
Listening live?
In this context, in the context of public access television, anything like this, the answer to the question, like, if a tree falls in the forest and there's nobody there to hear it, it doesn't make a sound. Well, the answer is the trees hear it.
The trees
are growing and learning by falling down.
4:13 on the hour. 4:13 on the hour. Traffic is a little congested coming up the BQE. And again, our question is anyone watching this? Is anyone out there watching this? Call in 212-555-5555. If you're watching this, please call in. I've been broadcasting on this network.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to pick up. I called the number, but I mean,
well, try him again, Harry. Maybe if he gave out the real number,
but I hear myself on the
number. Maybe they have an Instagram channel. Someone can communicate via that. Does anyone have a real?
It's ringing.
I make a near 7-figure salary. There's a full staff here. I've never met a single person who's told me they've seen this channel.
It's ringing.
Does anybody watch this show?
I mean, Marty, don't just call him. Why don't we go down to the studio and let's liven them up a little bit.
That's a good point. We're members of the public. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, get in there.
Yeah.
You get in there right here. I mean, it's just.
I often ask my children if they've seen. Have you seen Daddy on television? And somehow they're always like, "Oh,
we're members of the public. I'm just going to pick the lock.
We don't have a televition, Pop, and I forget that we don't have a television."
Mr. Summers,
And I have a rake.
Are you all broadcasting it?
Click. All right.
Get in there.
Hi there.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Welcome to television, Diane.
We're on. This is live television, folks. Please don't rob us. Don't.
Liver than ever, because Diane and Marty are here.
Hi. Oh my God.
We're members of the public, and we're accessing your show. We watch it. In answer to your question, I tried calling on the phone. We watch it.
But
it's been 11 years.
Mr. Simonson,
no one's ever reported they ever saw anything.
No. We sent.
Are you sure it's me you're watching?
Yes, Mr. Simonson. We've written letters. We've sent emails that have all bounced back.
Oh,
and I'm looking
God.
over here. I'm looking at your switchboard here, and it's plugged into the phone line, but the electric plug's not in, so none of the lights are lighting up. Look, I'm going to plug this in. The switchboard's lit all up. It's like a Christmas tree.
What?
Every single person in our swimming class at the YMCA loves your show.
I'm going to pick up this phone. Hello?
Hi, I'm also calling to say that I love your program.
I love you. I love you.
I am
What's your name?
I'm a child murderer. My name is Agnes. I've murdered a few children.
All right. Well, I love you. I've got to go. Let's try another one. Let's pick up another call. Hello.
Okay, player, this is Steve Harvey, and I'm here at the Family Feud. You have been called on as a member of the public. Now, player, what is your answer to the number one question of what is the most popular show to watch in bed?
Good Morning America.
Survey says. Okay, player, now.
Did you make that sound yourself, Steve Harvey?
It's your show, Mr. Samuelson. Just say Samuelson on public access. That's what everybody calls
Samuelson on public access.
Okay, well, we're going to hang up and we're going to go back on to the Johnson family.
All right. This is amazing. I mean, I've been paid very handsomely to do this public access show somehow.
Well,
but
that was actually our question, our reason for inquiring, Mr. Samuelson, because public access broadcasters legally can't be paid. So we were wondering, where's your money coming from?
I'm funded by the mob.
Which mob? Like a flash dance?
The Cosa Nostra?
The Italian mafia and the Irish
The
mafia.
Scourge of Napoli?
Yes.
The Sicilian
Hello?
Curse?
Why are you talking bad and talking ugly about us on your show?
I
Know who this is?
I know who this is, Mr.
Don't say his
Sicilione.
name.
Mr.
Oh, say it. Say
Mr.
it on the air.
Scolione.
Yeah.
Please don't.
They call me that because my back is shaped like one of those S's you drew in 6th grade.
It's shaped like the cool S.
It was. How come you guys have let me be in the air for 11 years and not let me know that anybody's been watching?
Are you an expert in money laundering?
Yeah.
No.
Are you aware?
Then you wouldn't know.
Are you aware of the circumstances? How much effort has to be made in order to clean a wad of cash?
I only know how to report the traffic and the morning news.
And you do a great job of it, Mr.
I
Stevens.
would
Saying,
say-
hello, mobsters. Quiet, you. Okay.
Hey, you guys. I just want to thank you for showing up here. I may not be much longer for this world, but
Well, I mean, we are members of the public, but
I mean,
Diane and I,
We certainly are. And
she's an excellent attorney, and I'm a licensed gun-carrying bodyguard.
we very much do like your show and would love for it to continue if any way possible.
We didn't come here looking for work, and we wouldn't take your money because it's dirty mob money or clean mob money, but we will pro bono protect you for the sake of all your legions of fans, including Mr. Steve Harvey.
ladies and gentlemen, it's 4:19 in the hour, and this has been Morning Mondays scene. Beautiful.
All right, half an hour into the show and 3 scenes in, we're going to go back to the mics and back to the conversation, what we call the living room. Now, when it comes to living rooms and couches
I
and
love this posture you're taking. It's beautiful. Hit it.
when it comes to living rooms and couches and everything else in the morning drive time, we'd like to have a brief conversation. And quick shout out to our sponsor,
Viewers like you.
viewers like you. Dude, is there any way people? I would give my phone number out, but it doesn't exist. Is there any way people could text or Instagram somebody to see?
There is a phone. There is a call. I have never used it.
Yeah,
I
let's
have
see if
never used
anyone would call in. So just can you give the number out?
I don't know how to activate it. I've never tried.
Fire up.
Can you pick it up? Is there a ringtone?
Fire up the Brooklyn phone.
This is just us talking. Yeah. Is there a ringtone?
There's a dial tone.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's give the number out and let's see if anyone.
Number is
anyone's out there.
718-673-8201.
This is
Now-
once again an invitation to call us if you are listening live. One more time.
718.
One more slower.
718-673-8201.
Yeah.
Now, perhaps hilariously or very accidentally meta, we don't totally know if this has a working ringer, if there's a flashing light.
Oh, yeah?
So somebody could be actually listening, start calling in, and be like, these assholes are doing the scene.
We're doing-
Pick up the phone.
They're playing a prank on us.
If you
And then
wanna
3
call
weeks
in,
from now,
no.
Ralph will have started doing this every time.
Oh, my God.
He always gives the number. It never rings. And then finally somebody shows up and is like, Ralph, or maybe like somebody, gets into improv so they can come in here and be like, hey, Ralph, I call you every week and you never pick up.
That's
and then
so
Ralph
funny.
cries.
Yes.
Is there this is like how late do you put this out after the live broadcast?
It'll be on next Tuesday. So when people hear this,
Tuesday next.
It'll be Tuesday.
Tuesday next.
Okay.
She'll
Do you
be,
know the
who knows
Mr.
what day.
Show sketch? That's called the pre-taped live call-in show.
I think I've seen that sketch, but please describe it.
Okay.
I love Mr. Show.
It's about David Cross plays like a public access community person. So what he does is week 1, he tapes a show. Okay. Week 2, he plays show 1 while recording a new episode. Week 3, he plays episode 2, but he's live in the studio with someone on episode 3. So constantly people are calling in to talk to last week's guest, even though he's on the air with a new person because they think it's live. But the show that they're watching is week 2 when it's
So who was your guest here last week, Ralph?
Last week, who was our guest? Billy Soko.
Oh, so nice. The phone's gonna ring, and they're gonna go like. So I got a question for Billy. The thing that he just said about like women being funnier than men, he's right. But I want to talk it through.
Well, he's not here. We can ask Dejen this question, but yeah,
Like actually, we have Dejen in the studio right now.
Oh, where's Billy?
Hi, I'm calling for Sydney Duncan. I saw her on your Instagram page. She was
a year ago.
Okay.
I would call for Sandy Duncan. Is she available?
Yeah, it's Sandy.
From the Hogan family. That was nearly 40 years ago.
Oh.
Who's the
So that's a no.
Wait, I think I remember. How did that theme song go? It's the Hogan. I don't remember.
I think it was in that like truly golden era of sitcoms where
you know Sandy Duncan? Do you know that reference?
Hogan's Heroes?
No, Hogan's Family, which was
it was Valerie's family. Then Valerie died. And so then it was it was Valerie, and then Valerie died. So then it was Valerie's family
in the show or for real.
I think in the show, but maybe also for real. I've never been clear on that, and I read up on this like a few months ago, and I can't remember
who played Valerie. Was that blonde?
It was Valerie Harper.
Oh, but Valerie Harper's still alive.
I don't fucking know who it was.
Oh,
I'm making shit up.
Okay.
Well, no, but it was. It might have been Valerie fucking Harper, or I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But she was somebody everybody loved, and then I think either she died or she left the show. But then the character definitely died, and so then it was Valerie's family, and then they brought in Sandy Duncan because they like the show was missing like a charming woman at the core. So they brought and basically had the dad start dating Sandy Duncan's character, or maybe she was a nanny. I don't really remember. But then it became the Hogan family.
You were closer, and at the end is here, and it was all to say, the love is as surrender, it's as arrested.
No idea. What era was it? What era sitcom was it?
Mid 80s.
Does this sound familiar?
It doesn't.
Okay, good. I think that was the theme song. Man, it's embedded in my brain. I don't know where that's coming from.
I believe that show had a young Justin Bateman.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I remember all this because
Jason Bateman.
His
sister is Justine Bateman.
There you go.
Jason Bateman. Yeah.
So there's an improv guy, did stuff in Chicago for many years. I think he might have been in LA, and his name is Eric Honeycutt. He's great. And I used to see him do stuff in Chicago, and then I was at a festival in North Carolina, and he was there, and then like we both did like the fact, and I did a couple things, and like and I said to him, and like we were like chatting, and like we knew people in common. And I was like, yeah, no, it's great. Like, it's great to meet you. I actually know your brother, from when I was around in Chicago, your brother BJ. And he's like, that was me. And I'm like, huh? And he's like, this has happened before. I'm like, what? He's like, people know me, but if they only, if it's somebody you knew and then you don't see them for a while, and then at some point they conflate me in their head with BJ Honeycutt, the character on MASH. He said, there's more than one person. You're not the first one to come up and think that I'm related, that like they, like literally it's happened where people are like, oh yeah, I know you're BJ Honeycutt. It's like, no, I'm Eric Honeycutt. Anyway.
Wow.
This is not really much of a story.
That's really bizarre.
But I never had a chance. But I was absolutely certain that I knew a dude who looked a lot like him, but was his brother. And I had seen him do all kinds of shows, and his name was BJ Honeycutt. It's like, no, I have no brother. I'm the only boy in the family, and my name is Eric, and I did all the things you just
Does he look like the character that
No, BJ Honeycutt, if I remember really, is like very big and tall and like bald with the mustache in the 70s. And Eric Honeycutt is like small and trim and blonde.
Our memories fail us.
Yeah. And I was so sure of it was the thing. I was so sure of it that I kind of short-circuited past even being embarrassed. I was like, and it was kind of thing where it's like, it was such a bizarre, dumb mistake that there was no way it wasn't just an honest mistake. I don't know.
Dude, how'd you segue out of it?
I was like, oh shit. And he's like, it's happened before. I was like, that's really weird. I guess that was you. And then somebody else walked in and it petered out,
Okay, here's my big.
I bring this up because I was sure it was Justin Bateman and it was absolutely Jason Bateman, of course.
That's really close. You're both Midwestern boys.
Oh yeah,
Chicago.
Yeah,
you're from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
You're from
Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin.
All right.
Yeah, I see a mustache.
Yeah,
my grandma lived on South Cornell Street in the south side of Chicago.
Okay, nice. I grew up in a neighborhood on the far south side called Beverly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know Beverly, but
did you spend a lot of time in Chicago?
Every summer we go down. I spend like maybe a month there and then come back up. It was cool. I really dug the environment, billboards in Spanish. That was the first thing that hit me like when I was maybe 6. Just driving down from Madison, Wisconsin, pretty liberal dot out in the red state. And then college town, both my parents tied to the university, and we drive to Chicago. And I was like, yo, they got 5-lane highways and billboards in Spanish, and the radio is playing like new music to me at 6. Like, yo, this is wild. This is great. This is like embedded embedded diversity culture, not just like, hey, we have a bunch of international students on our campus.
Wow.
We've got rock and polka on the radio.
Yeah. Hey, look, an Ethiopian and a Thai restaurant. We got it on the same street, on State Street. This is wild.
We got German beer and Belgian beer.
Yeah.
I did. So what, for you, like growing up in Madison, were you like, what's the upbringing like there? What is the life like? Is it like an idyllic suburban life? You're in a college town, so you're probably like, there's young people around.
Yeah, I did notice 2 layers of adults. My parents had me at 40, so they were like pretty well established, like career established, whatever. But then I would go to campus a lot and see people who were bigger than me, bigger than my older brothers, but still asking for advice. And those were like college students or graduate students. So that got me hip to like, oh shit, okay, cool. Life is it's all an upward trajectory. It's not just now teen, adult. There's levels even within each level. So that to me was like a nice thing to experience or just to see. And my mom, as a professor of African American Studies and Women's Studies, Elva Hugh Boscombe Chair of the African American Studies Department, UW-Madison. Boom! Still got it. But seeing her like command a lecture hall of 300 students, I was like, oh shit, you're like, people appreciate you. And then my dad would be in like a cubicle doing his administrative like academic stuff. I was like, okay, cool, that's nice. He's just like a statistician for universities. But it's like it took the intimidation out of presenting to people away.
That's great.
So pretty much the hip thing of like, how do I say it? Madison is like 40,000 people come to the campus every year, and then it's a town of 240,000 maybe. So like a fifth of the people are out, 6 of the people are gone in the summers. And so that to me was like, okay, as soon as I have a bike, probably when I start going out independently, is like 14. That's when you're going downtown. You see the acts that are doing colleges, start to see independent hip hop acts, start to see like drunk parties, all this stuff. I was getting into like drinking and partying with college students probably by my freshman or sophomore year in high school. So I got a lot of that out of my system pretty young. And so when I was ready to like hit college in Minnesota, I was like, work, because I'd already gotten maced for like fucking around during Halloween. And, you know, it's a big party school too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a big party school, yeah.
In Madison?
UW-Madison, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a big party school. And I think once I like doubled down on doing saxophone and like practicing, and I had a private teacher in the 9th grade. And so that was really like, okay, cool. Let me just practice my 2 hours a day, whatever. And then very academic focused because my mom's from the south side of Chicago. My dad's from Eritrea, Northeast Africa. They both got like scholarships to go to UW-Madison. And that's just kind of how they met and how I was like, oh, there's a whole track of coming up from affordable housing and government housing in a third world country to like, okay, let's use school. So that was like my focus on let's get out of Madison via school. And
how do you
pretty smart
pivot into comedy and acting from there?
Probably what I loved.
I mean, not far. You're doing music, so it's not super far.
Yeah, it's not super far. I do remember being in pit orchestra, playing in Kiss Me Kate and what's the Sharks and the Jets? What's that one?
West Side Story.
Long Day's Journey in the Night.
Long Day's Journey, yeah. It was doing the musical.
Right, not
in the Heights, yeah, in 2004 when I was in high school, yeah.
Oh,
no,
wow.
no, it was just
West Side
Story. Yeah, it was West Side Story. And watching my friends on stage, and I was in the pit orchestra, like behind. I'm one of like 36 high schoolers playing the soundtrack to what they're singing, and they're like, I'm on stage, and I was like, man, I want to do that. I want to do that shit. Why am I down here, like waiting for my saxophone solo? That's 8 measures between acts, you know. And yeah, also like I discovered Kids in the Hall in middle school, And that was like
Wow.
my show. Late Night Comedy Central, that was my shit. I was like insomniac. I do my homework, whatever, hang out with my cousins. But then the late night programming on Comedy Central,
Yeah.
it was like Bob and Margaret. It was South Park, 2 episodes of South Park. Then Bob and Margaret was there. Baby Blues was the last one. There was some show about college.
Familiar. Yeah.
And then there was and then Kids in the Hall. They would just show Kids in the Hall, and I was like, "This is great." When I didn't even know what this is. This is maybe like 1990. This show was 10 years old by then,
Right.
and they were just showing reruns. But I was like, "This is all." It's super like lo-fi. It seems like it's a sketch that I could make. Like the smartest high schoolers in the country could make this show, and I really liked it. Like Girl Drink Drunk and Chicken Lady and all like the stuff that they were doing seemed so, I guess punk rock is the term, but just like
It's wild.
like the Jackass guy, like who gave these motherfuckers a camera and a show? But it seemed like the prior version of that. And from having older brothers, their show was in living color, and I like introduced to comedy. My dad's show was like SNL, and my mom likes tragedies. She's a black woman from the South. So she was like, she loves like The Color Purple and The Perfect Storm and like anything that shows white people in pain.
She's just laughing her ass off.
She's like, y'all all gonna drown. Oh my God, I can't wait for this.
Laughing her ass off to Amistad.
Oh my God.
How did she? Did you know how she felt about the film The Help?
The hell, I don't know if she saw it. She probably didn't see it.
I mean, that one, like, shitty white ladies get fed actual shit in a pie.
I've only seen that scene from The Help. I've only seen that
That's
scene.
the part worth watching.
That's the part, yeah. What other movie she like? Oh, I remember in my birthday, August 1st. I don't remember what year it was. This is 96, maybe 97. But it was the day Spawn the movie came out.
Michael J. White.
Yeah, that was, and John Leguizamo as the devil,
the
clown. Yeah,
the clown whose real name is like Sexecutioner or some shit. It's not that, but
something.
It's,
yeah,
it's Violator.
Violator. Oh my
that's
gosh,
that demon's name, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Is it DC? That's DC.
That's Image.
Image.
Yeah.
Okay. Spawn
Todd McFarlane or whatever.
Todd McFarlane had the idea. He wanted to own it.
Huh.
Image Comics was formed by like a bunch of comics artists who were tired of their work being owned by the other companies, so they formed their own, where stuff would be creator owned.
Is that like how Marvel, DC? Where does it sit in the levels?
It's just under those.
It's there with Dark Horse. Like then and Dark Horse are sort of like,
yeah, they're the two
you got
tiers.
Marvel,
underneath.
DC. You got like Dark Horse and Image.
Nerd alert.
You got Valiant down here, and then you got like Archie kind of around
On the
all
side,
of it.
yeah.
Archie Comics.
brand.
So you guys are it's my week. I get 1 week of Comics Club and I get the floor and we're gonna talk about the Archie universe of comics.
All right. Well, it's just to call it a universe is a little presumptuous. You're stepping out a bit far. It's
Where does it take place? An ethereal, non-existent void?
Look, comic book franchise owner. I'm disgusted. Archie keeps creeping into the DC area, and I have no patience for it.
Oh, you can lend anybody and everybody to Scooby-Doo, but you can't let a little bit of Archie have a villain who looks a tiny bit like the Joker?
You do sound a little bit like Shaggy.
Well, gosh, Scoob, I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, aside from that, just to focus, DC sells. Marvel sells. And
Listen, you guys, I am a comic book store owner on ketamine, and I need to catalog you guys in the way that you need to be cataloged. So I need you to sort this out amongst yourselves.
Listen, get a crowbar, pry open your mind, and get ready for this. I don't need you.
You're a book, okay? You're a set of books that I need to catalog and store somewhere.
No, you don't.
Why?
I'll be just fine as long as there's supermarkets. I'm the one comics franchise that you can buy right next to the gum and the little cheap cars full of gummy worms.
Mr. Wayne, will you talk some sense into this?
My name is Batman.
All right. I didn't want to
Wink,
blow your cover.
wink. Okay, well, let me just take this mask off since you want to be so fucking flagrant.
Oh my God.
Look.
Batman is Bruce Wayne.
Yes. Okay, you clearly only read your own damn comic.
Well, do you know who Jughead's mom is?
Catwoman.
No, Mrs. Phelps.
Oh.
This iced coffee is hitting the spot. Listen, guys, I
love our brunches.
Look, Archie.
Had to do it at least once.
All right, that's
You
4.
got it.
Next 10.
I was
nailed it.
accidentally veering into a pretty decent Casey Kasem as Scooby.
Oh yeah,
That makes me very happy.
Casey Kasem Scooby. That's
Or
so
as
fun.
Shaggy, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh,
that's solid.
We've
it's
got
coming to
Nick's.
50 very
That's
quickly.
fun. We've got
How?
Yeah, this is
what?
fun.
What are you working on now that you're excited about? You're trying to buy a house.
Yeah, co-op. We're
Brookwood?
deep in the contract stage. It's a whole. It's like
Is that what the kind where there's like you got to do like interviews with the board? And,
no, we got a loophole.
that's good.
We found a loophole. This is like
because that's bullshit.
the thing that somebody owns it, and it's you don't have to interview and go through all that process.
Bravo.
So 10% of it is like, okay, cool. I don't feel like I'm on The Voice being like, hey, I'm a writer for PBS who's currently on strike, but hey, I got the money to keep up with the shit. So that's fine. Yeah, my wife and I started the process like 4 months ago, and we're still like getting a house. Yeah, getting a co-op. It's all right. That's just whatever life stuff.
What? Wait. Talk about this day job. I remember like a year and a half ago, you were saying I didn't realize this was a full-time ongoing gig. Talk to us about it.
It was a fellowship, and hopefully they'll have me back for season 2 when they get their funding and all that. But the show is called Work It Out Wombats, and it's on PBS. Woohoo!
Yeah.
And my episode is it's like 3 wombat kids in a world.
This is a
called the
cartoon
Tree
for
River. It's a cartoon
on
yeah.
PBS Kids.
Yeah, PBS Kids.
Baller.
So there was this fellowship I applied to January of 2022, and I got it. 5 of us got it. So we were brought on as like to each write an episode for this PBS Kids series.
Mm-hmm.
And our episodes are like later because we were brought on after I think they had most of their main writing cast. And so it was a fun fellowship. Every week we met with each other. We met with the head writer. We had Kathy Waugh. She was great and gave like great feedback on what goes into a kid's script, what goes into an academic script, and then why. I like to sneak in jokes for the adults watching with their kids, but they don't really do that.
Wow.
So it was seeing how they put together an episode from end to end, and there's like. Write an entertaining episode, yes, but also have something, a tangible learning skill that the kid can take away from it. So this focus of this show is, I think, for ages 2 to 6, and it's STEM, like the foundations of STEM. So like
That's nice.
Grouping or identifying things by color or shape. Or I wrote an episode where they learn to count. Can I talk about it? I wrote an episode that involves counting to 10.
Nice.
So I hope it should be out. It's just like there's a lot of what are called assets, which are like individual pieces that the animators have to draw and put together. So like if there was a cartoon of us doing this podcast right now, okay, this microphone's an asset. That microphone is a different asset because it's silver and black, and this one's just black. This is a different microphone. So what the illustrators would do is probably make these all the same microphone. That way they can use the same thing 4 times.
Same template, yeah.
And there's like a bin of like existing assets they hope you use.
Yeah. So in my script, one of the notes I got was, hey, instead of this being a vacuum, could it be a Swiffer? Because we already have a Swiffer. And can the person just be vacuuming? I was like, yeah, sure. It doesn't matter. They just have to be cleaning.
Yeah, makes sense to me. I just got to say, for my money, you are in like very awesome rarefied company up there. Cause like, when my kid was growing up, we just never had cable. We never like had need to pay. Like it never made sense for us to pay for cable. But what we could get was if you took the internet cable, split it and plugged in the TV, there was like the broadcast channels couldn't be blocked legally. So we had PBS. And so he grew up watching just PBS Kids. And the shows he grew up like watching religiously were like on average way better than the crap his friends were watching on like Nickelodeon or Disney or whatever. You know what I mean? There was some good, and like some of these shows they'd be on, so we'd watch them too. And like I see what you mean, where like I can't think of any times there was like like Looney Tunes or Disney style like jokes just for the adults. But there's shows like a lot of these shows would have good, solid like character stuff in them, and like it was funny and enjoyable for us adults watching. And sometimes there were parental behavior PSAs that would be in between them, and those were great. Those sometimes are still catchphrases in our house. There's one where in the bad version, the mom is getting like she's so stressed out. She's trying to cook and the peas are boiling over and everybody's talking. And the mom goes, and we still say this sometimes to each other in the house, but the mom goes, stop the noise. And then everybody freezes and the kids are all scared. And then they like rewind and then do the better version where she just like, she feels it. And she makes eye contact with the kid and she goes like, she goes like, and pulls a funny face and they all have a laugh. There was a million of these where it'd be like bad version of the parents, good version of the parents.
Yeah, it's like,
and some of them were hilarious.
Good idea, bad idea on Animaniacs is the old.
Anyway,
old
sorry,
game
I just
like
never
that.
get a chance to talk about PBS Kids, but you're working for them.
Fun.
That's great. You're
fun.
contributing.
Yeah, this is a story a lot of people can maybe enjoy. So we had the former head writer of Arthur. So in one of our weeks,
Great show,
right? So,
that's yeah.
So and he talked about like character design and stories and justification, and there were a couple rules. He said he never shows violence, doesn't show direct romance, so no characters kissing, and there was no swearing. So those were like his just sort of boilerplate rules, which was
what the
seemed
fuck,
obvious.
Buster?
And I had to ask him this question because he talked about like how much care you put into creating your characters and the moments and making sure there's a lesson and a takeaway. So I said, how do you feel like knowing this episode of Arthur, it's now reduced to like a meme, the fist meme, the fist meme. So you're talking about all this going into it, and how do you feel that sort of the legacy of this 20-year show is now like scrolled through and it's a meme of anger? And he laughed, and then he said, you know what? I'm glad that we're still in the lexicon of what people find entertaining, because however people find the show or discover the show, hopefully they can dig in to see the episode, to see the moment. He doesn't actually hit DW. It does a cut, and you see his sister fall back after she breaks his airplane. So you're able to express the anger, you're able to express the emotion, and say like it is okay to have these feelings without directly showing that violence. And
that's what Scott McCloud in Understanding Comics calls closure.
Closure.
Wow, dude! Do you know this book?
No,
this is like one of the most formative books of my life. It's like, let me think. One of the great art books ever made.
Yeah.
For me, it's kind of a Rosetta Stone for all art.
Yeah, yeah. It's a beautiful book. I don't know if you're a comic book guy.
But just for storytelling in general, it's great.
This guy, and I put Zot up there too. That's the one.
See, I've never read Zot.
Zot is beautiful, and it's just as good as Understanding Comics. But Understanding Comics, it's like a deconstruction of comic books as an art form by this comic book artist who's like, he's not got a flashy style, but he has a very deep understanding of comic books as an art form. He's a writer and artist named Scott McCloud, and a really great understanding of like storytelling and like very simple and
like
beautiful
in the same
style.
way that like if you go to if you go to a Meisner school, there's a good chance they will tell you to read Zen and the Art of Archery. In the same way, I think whatever kind of art or storytelling you do, it's worth reading Understanding Comics.
Yeah, I don't know how we came on to Scott McCloud, but yeah, it's like just about
because
art.
it's what Dejen just described with Arthur, where you see the fist,
and
then
that's
you
a very
see her
Scott
falling
McCloud.
backwards.
That's a very Scott McCloud idea of like storytelling.
You see before, you see after, in your brain closes
puts them together. Sequences about time.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful. I don't know how we ended up here. We're closing the show. Dejen, tell people how to find you, what they should look for from you.
Scott McCloud, Understanding Comics.
Yeah.
I'll say, well, first I want to shout out Mr. Richard Davis, bass professor, Madison, Wisconsin legend. He passed away today. I'm wearing a shirt that was from his conference. He's a great mentor and jazz player. Played with all the legends, so look him up. But you can find me at
10 seconds.
DEJEN45 on Instagram and on YouTube at Deja Comedy. Got about 5,000 subscribers, and I do a bunch of stuff.
Lots of sketches, lots of funny stuff. How do people find you, Grimsy?
JeoffGrimwood.com. That's Jeff with a G.
Geoff. Yeah, Geoff Grimwood.
And my name has been mispronounced.
Yes. We've all gotten it today, and we love it. There's no suggestion. Good night.
Deja,
Ralph JP.
Comedy. All right.